Everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with some dual article action here, both from Outkick because they're basically about the exact same topic here. So one is from August 7th, one is from August 8th. The second one's sort of a follow up to the first one. Well, I guess maybe it is just a full follow up. I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, and like I said, from Outkick, and this is about the whole Baltimore Orioles announcing situation. I don't know if this is gotten past just sports people, but someone who doesn't really watch sports anymore, but baseball was my thing, as I've mentioned many times. I saw this headline and I was kind of like, what the hell happened? And the headline for the first article, which is the more importanter of the two, says, Wise, Gary Cohen buries Orioles, John Angelos for suspending broadcaster Kevin Brown over on-air honest comments about team. So I was like, what could have possibly happened here that an announcer was suspended over honest comments? Like, what did he say? So let's just go into the article and we will. I mean, I know what he said, but uh, you all discover together what this man said, and you will promptly do a face palm. So, article says one shocking story regarding a decision made by the Baltimore Orioles ownership prompted strong responses around baseball, and indeed, more scathing rants against the Orioles are on the way. Awful Announcing reported on Monday that the Orioles suspended fan favorite Mid Atlantic Sports Network broadcaster Kevin Brown, and discipline stemmed from comments he made on live TV last month. So, right there, you're probably going, well, what the hell did this dude say that was so bad that got him suspended from TV? I mean, that doesn't happen. I mean, we see a lot of very sensitive people, I would say, in the last few years, like when a commenter makes an honest mistake or says something that just regular folks, not, the team owner or chairman or managing partners, it says in the next sentence here of the article, but it's a lot of just common fans just saying that person needs to go, and then the team tends to capitulate. So again, it comes back to what exactly did Kevin Brown say here. So, of course, we'll just read the sentence that it says here. It says the blame is centered on John Angelos, chair and managing partner of the Orioles. So it says during a visit to Tropicana Field on July 23rd to play the Tampa Bay Rays, Brown pointed out the Orioles' lousy streak of baseball heading into the matchup. Did Brown make heinous remarks worth a suspension? Far from it. Video of the comments prompted intense confusion and disgust over the discipline taken against Brown. Some even considered it censorship of speech, which it most certainly was. Brown previewed the game by contrasting the Orioles' lack of success in recent years at Tropicana to their unprecedented winning formula in 2023. And keep in mind, too, that the Orioles have, for the most part, sucked balls for probably 10 or 15 years at this point. I mean, they've been bad. And it's because of, if John Angelos, he's probably the son of Peter Angelos, who is the last guy I remember owning the team because, of course, I'm in Chicago. I'm a Cubs fan. I do not keep up with what the Orioles do. But if Peter Angelos is basically the reason that the Orioles have sucked for so long, and his son doing something stupid, as we're about to find out, like this, seems kind of like right in line with everything going on with the Orioles. So it says Brown's harmless comments, accompanied by television graphics that supported Brown's commentary, reportedly made the owners feel like they were being addressed as cheap. So what did he say? Here's what he said. He said the Orioles have won 3 of the first 5 games at the top this season after winning 3 of the 21 games played in St. Petersburg from 2020 to 2022. God, what an awful guy. How dare he point out statistics from how his team has performed at this particular stadium against this particular team that's in their division that they're fighting with for first place. How dare he? And before you say that can't possibly be it, he must have said something else. No, that's what he said. And the article is linked below in the description, and here it is. And because, again, I'm an idiot that doesn't know how to get the audio to play in my videos, I would play it, but I would say go ahead and just pull up the article, listen to yourself. This is a direct quote. And after I listened to what he said, because I did listen to the actual embedded tweet video there, I was just like, that that's it? Like, really? So keep going with the article here. It says Kevin Brown has missed calling 8 games since that television appearance. He appeared for 3 more contests before his mysterious absence. And the thin-skinned reaction by the Orioles drew strong criticism hours after the breaking news. And during the New York Mets homestand against the Chicago Cubs on Monday, SNY broadcaster Gary Cohen tore the Orioles' brain trust to shreds for suspending Brown. I don't blame him at all. Cohen skewered the Orioles, stating that the organization has been drenched in humiliation in an upswing season for Baltimore, which is currently atop the competitive AL East. He added that the backlash is exactly what the Orioles ownership deserves. And here's what Cohen said in response to the Brown suspension. During a recent game in Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Kevin, during his opening, talked about how the Royals had trouble winning in the past at Tropicana Field, but they were doing better this year. That was really all he said. You saw the quote. That is what he said. So after that, the Baltimore Orioles management decided to suspend Kevin Brown. And let me just say one thing to Baltimore Orioles management. You draped yourself in humiliation when you fired John Miller, and you're doing it again. And John Miller was an excellent announcer himself. If that's the same John Miller that used to do the ESPN Sunday night games, I was a big fan of that dude. He was really good. It says, and also his quote finishes by saying, and if you don't want Kevin Brown, there are 29 other teams who do. And if it was Kevin Brown, I basically double middle finger to the Orioles, and trust me, another team will hire that dude. So it's a horrendous decision by the Orioles. I don't know what they were thinking, but they've gotten exactly the reaction that they deserve. And it's just a shame because the Orioles are playing so well, and now they've diverted attention from that and now made themselves a laughing stock. And the Orioles last made the postseason in 2016. God, I didn't even realize that. I thought they'd been suckage longer than that. They used to be really good all the time back in like the early 2000s, I think it was, or late 90s, early 2000s. They were always there, and they've just sucked for a while now. So this, if you play this, this is actually the quote from what we just read. And it says, John Angelo, it should be Angelos's timeline of poor judgment made the criticism against the organization tenable. He said, according to the Baltimore Banner, an Orioles official stated that Brown will return to the booth in the near future. We don't comment on employment decisions. However, Kevin Brown will be back with us in the near future, the Orioles official commented. And Baltimore's uncompromising mandate regarding on-air apparel worn by broadcasters also drew a spotlight on their unfair treatment of Brown. The organization requires that Orioles broadcasters must wear the logo on television. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it's not a big deal, but like, I mean, you are announcing for the team. You're an employee of the team. So maybe, support the team that you're announcing for. But okay, I mean, I don't see a problem with that. So it says criticism for the ridiculous punishment continues to pour in. It says Yankees play-by-play broadcaster Michael Kay admonished the Orioles and asked MLB to slap Baltimore on the wrist. I don't know if baseball can actually do anything about that. So here's his embedded tweet from Michael Kay. And then we have some other embedded tweets here. Oh, Robert Griffin III in here. Okay, and then some of the other, embedded tweets, and that's basically the end of that article. So, some follow-up to that. We're going to scroll back to the top of that article, scoot over to this article, which is from the next day from Outkick, and it says it was updated on the 9th. So there's a free Kevin Brown chance breakout at Camden Yard. So it says Baltimore Orioles fans need Kevin Brown, and he's the O's play-by-play announcer, and he was suspended in July after delivering honest comments about the team's failing history of matchups against the Tampa Bay Rays at Tropicana Field. And yes, we just found out about this a few days ago when he was suspended in July. That's how kind of hush this whole thing was. So it says what the Orioles did to Kevin Brown is nothing short of egregious. His Orioles management, namely CEO John Angelos, reportedly took offense to Brown's commentary from the July 23rd matchup and kept him off the air. Here are the comments that Brown got smelled. We know we went over that already. It says O's fans and sports enthusiasts alike teamed up to demand Brown have his broadcaster seat back, and the protest continued. And during Tuesday's nationally broadcasted Baltimore versus Houston Astros game at Camden Yards, which is where the Orioles play, the venue broke into free Kevin Brown chants, and you can hear it if you hit that embedded tweet. And all of these we're going to skip down. It says figures from all around baseball and the sports media grew outraged over Brown's suspension news on Monday, and that's the same thing that we just read before. And then they said he was going to come back soon, so we know that. And then Clay Travis, who is the boss of Outkick, he said, sadly, this is where we are as a society. As he posted on social media, said, if you share facts that upset the wrong person or persons, you can get fired or suspended. It's just a natural outgrowth of the idea that words are harmful, even if it's true. It's pathetic, but this is where we are. And this is what he said. So, yeah, so the fans are asking for their announcer back. He was suspended for doing literally nothing wrong. So, let me know what you think about this in the comments below, because I'd love to hear what sports fans have to say about an announcer getting suspended for stating, statistics. That's it, without like any opinion added to it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.